See my finger in the screen? That was awesome, huh? We'll just clean that off. So this morning while I was showering, something popped into my head. My husband is always telling people about his 50-year plan. And I thought about it yesterday. And it's a good goal to have a 50-year plan. But it needs to be all-encompassing to me, I think. So for me, if I were going to have a 50-year plan, and in 50 years I would be 106, by the way. And I know some people who are 100. And one of them has a life I wouldn't want. And another one of them still drives and apparently is good at it because he still has a license. And I would rather be the guy driving at 104. That's how old he is. So what would my 50-year plan look like? And what would I do today in order to achieve that 50-year plan? So in 50 years, I would like to be obviously healthy, but not just healthy. I would like to have energy, stamina. I'd like to be mobile, and I'd like to enjoy my life. If I am immobile, I'm not going to enjoy my life as much, I think. I don't know because I'm not there yet, but I like to move around. So there'd be that. I'd also like, so that's physically, I'd like to be mobile. I'd like to be healthy. I'd like to be full of energy, have stamina, be able to keep up with my great-great-grandchildren if I have those. Spiritually, I would like to continue to have a connection with my higher power. I would like to continually strive to connect with all my fellow humans and anyone else in the universe, or anything else in the universe. So I need to work on my spiritual. Mentally, I'd like to have a sharp mind. I don't want to be stagnant. I don't want my mind to melt into mush as I get older. I want to be able to keep coming up with ideas and keep thinking of new ways to do things. I want to evolve. That's a big word when I think about my future and a 50-year plan. I want to make sure that I'm always evolving and growing as a human being. And then emotionally, am I going to be in charge of my emotions? Are my emotions going to be in charge of me in 50 years? Or am I going to have a symbiotic relationship with my emotions? And I thought of that word. I'm not sure if it quite applies. But am I going to be able to sit quietly, feel what I'm actually feeling, figure out where that's coming from, and embrace it? For so long, I ran away from my emotions. For so long, I wouldn't feel. For a long time, I drank alcohol and I took drugs so that I wouldn't have to feel. And today I don't need to do that, but I find other ways to escape my emotions. But I'm getting better. I'm getting better at self-awareness and being in touch with my emotions and not letting them rule me, but also not ignoring them. So in 50 years, that's going to be important to me. Something that I think my husband is focusing most on when he says he's working on his 50-year plan. Look at that weird hair. 'Cause y'all care, huh? Is finances. Can I afford to live another 50 years? And if I can't, what am I doing about that right now? I learn a lot about what things cost and how much I can afford to spend and what I'm bringing in and what I'm putting out there. I used to be a horrible money manager. I called it creative financing. As long as I could cover the checks right up to my payday. And sometimes I would write a check on a Wednesday, back when all you could write was checks, and I was not credit worthy for any credit cards. I'd hope my check that for pay came in on Friday to cover that check I wrote on Wednesday. And luckily today I don't have to do that. But, right now, I'm flat, right? I have a pension coming in. Is that actually I'll be paid that until I die, so haha. But, it's not a lot. I'll get Social Security, but because I worked for a public agency, I won't get all the Social Security I put in. So what is my financial 50-year plan? So we've got the physical, the spiritual, the mental, the emotional, the financial. And there's also friends, you know, who's going to be around when I'm 105? I got to keep making friends, and their ages don't matter. I don't need to have a bunch of 105-year-old friends. I don't need to have a bunch of 70-year-old friends. Every age teaches me something about myself, as long as I'm willing to learn, as long as I'm willing to evolve and grow and not believe that I know everything, because I don't. Every day I'm learning something. I have friends who tell me, I've heard it so many times, I'm done learning. Now, I think when they say that, they're being very general, and they're talking about education. They're talking about going to school, taking classes, learning something like that. Because we are always learning, whether we know it or not, whether we like it or not. We are always learning something new. I mean, in fact, I don't like to go to bed at night well, I will, but I don't, I want to, so easily distracted. Every day I learn something new, whether it's a piece of information or whether it's a new way to do something I've always done differently. I strive to learn something new every day, and therefore I will never stop learning about myself, about others, about processes, about the way things in the world work, because that's always changing, just so you know. And because change is constant, I think that learning is also constant. And to say in a general way, I'm done learning, it just seems ignorant to me. I don't know what they mean by that. And I realized lately something I've learned is that I don't ask. I don't go, wow, what did you mean by that when you say you're done learning? So maybe I'll start asking more questions and getting more clarity than I already have. So those are the thoughts I had. What's your 50-year plan? Do you have a 50-year plan? And, if you don't want to go for 50, go for 25. Do you know what you're going to be doing next week? I have a habit tracker that I created that helps me to know every day what's coming. I don't have to stick to it. I don't have to be really rigid about it, but it helps me to know what's coming down the line. It helps me to know that in 2 weeks, I have an event with a friend, that I have lunch next Saturday, that I'm working on producing that habit tracker in order to put it in the hands of people I think will benefit from it. And I can't do that if I don't have a plan. And so 50 years is good. Also, a week is good. A couple of months is good. Whatever kind of plan you need, but you got to have a plan. Pretty sure most people who embark on an airplane are really grateful that the pilot knows where he's going because he filed a flight plan. Well, the airline probably did, but you know what I mean. So anyway, I am going to work on my 50-year plan and make it a little more clear. Maybe you can think about what your 50-year plan is. Do you want to keep doing the same thing in 25 years you're doing right now? And if you don't, what are you doing to make something different happen? So that's 8 minutes and 17 seconds of me talking to you. I hope you have a great day. I hope you live your best recovery life, or just your best life. All starts right now. Bye.